Hello, and welcome to the East Coast College Admissions Podcast, your go-to podcast for navigating the complexities of East Coast College admissions. I'm your host, Cleopatra, and today we are tackling a topic that's crucial for any student applying to highly selective schools: how to stand out in competitive admissions. The admissions process at elite East Coast schools can feel overwhelming, with low acceptance rates and applicants who seem to have it all. But the good news is there are specific strategies you can use to make your application shine, no matter how competitive the landscape is. So let's dive right in. First things first, let's talk about what makes admissions to the East Coast schools so competitive. Whether it's the Ivies, top-tier liberal arts colleges, or prestigious research institutions, these schools receive thousands of applications from high-achieving students each year. The acceptance rate at most of these schools can be as low as 5%, which means standing out from the crowd is essential. But standing out doesn't mean simply having the highest GPA or the most AP classes. It's about crafting a compelling narrative that shows you who you are beyond the numbers. Today, we are going to explore several key strategies to help you do just that. Number one is to create a cohesive narrative. One of the biggest mistakes applicants make is thinking they need to be a jack of all trades. Admissions officers aren't looking for the perfect student with a laundry list of extracurriculars. They are looking for individuals with a clear, cohesive story. Your application should tell a story about your passions, values, and long-term goals. So let's break this down. If you are passionate about environmental science, just don't list random activities. Instead, focus on how your interest in climate change has shaped your high school journey. Maybe you've done an internship with a local environmental group, taken advanced courses in biology, and even led a school-wide recycling initiative. All of this builds a narrative that shows how your interests have developed over time. Admissions officers want to see that you've invested deeply into the things you care about, and they want to know why you care. So authenticity is key here. A pro tip for this is, instead of trying to cover every possible extracurricular activity, focus on just 2 or 3 areas where you've made a significant impact and weave them into your personal statement and other parts of your application. That creates a cohesive story. Point number 2, highlight unique extracurriculars. Speaking of extracurriculars, one of the best ways to stand out is by showcasing unique or niche activities. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that certain activities like debate club, student government, or varsity sports are the only impressive ones. However, colleges are often more interested in students who have pursued less traditional paths. For example, maybe you've been an avid chess player and have competed at national tournaments. Or perhaps you've started a podcast or YouTube channel discussing your favorite books or movies. Or maybe you've been involved in a community garden initiative helping to improve access to fresh food in urban areas. The point here is to embrace the things that make you different. Admissions officers read thousands of applications from students with very similar profiles. A unique extracurricular activity can make your application memorable. Point 3 is to develop strong relationships with teachers for stellar recommendations. Many students overlook the importance of these letters, but they are a critical part of your application. At elite East Coast schools where everyone has high grades and test scores, teacher recommendations can provide valuable insight into who you are as a student and as a person. So how do you ensure your letters stand out? Start early. Build relationships with your teachers well before senior year. Don't just wait until your senior year and then start trying to build relationships. That is not going to go a long way to help you. Engage in class discussions, seek feedback, and show genuine interest in the subject matter. Choose wisely. Pick teachers who know you well, not just in terms of grades, but also in terms of your character, work ethic, and contributions to the classroom. Provide context. When asking for a recommendation, give your teacher context on what you are passionate about, what you've achieved, and what your future goals are. This will help them write a letter that aligns with your overall narrative and highlights your strengths. This is not to say that your teacher doesn't know you, but just to provide that context to let them know, hey, last year I did A, B, C, D, E, or this year I got A, B, C, D, E, and this happened and that happened, just in case they forgot. Yeah, so that's the whole point of providing context to your teachers for a stellar recommendation. The pro tip for this point is consider sending your teacher a brag sheet or a summary of your activities and achievements to help them write a more personalized and compelling recommendation. Point number 4, write an outstanding personal statement. This is one of the most critical parts of your application, and it's your chance to speak directly to the admissions committee. So how do you write a college essay that stands out? Be authentic. Don't try to write what you think the admissions officers want to read or want to hear. Instead, focus on telling your unique story. What experiences have shaped you? What challenges have you overcome? What excites you about the future? Another point is show and don't tell. Instead of saying, I'm a hard worker, share something that demonstrates your work ethic. Maybe you spent months working on a science fair project only for it to fail. So you started all over from scratch and ended up winning first place. That is a compelling story. Keep it focused. Your essay should have a clear theme and message. It shouldn't be all over the place. Don't try to cover every aspect of your life. Focus on one specific event, moment, or interest that reveals something important about you. I had a student that sent in an essay, and the essay demanded for 600 words. And then the student wanted to cover everything from when she was 10 to now. And that was about 10 pages. Obviously, that is beyond 600 words. So that is a no. So keep your essays focused. The pro tip on this point is have multiple people, teachers, counselors, or mentors read over your essay for feedback. A fresh set of eyes can catch things you may have missed. Point 5, show demonstrated interest. Many elite ISCO schools, especially smaller liberal arts colleges, track whether students have engaged with them. There are several ways to show demonstrated interest. Campus visits. If possible, schedule a campus visit. I think in my previous episode, I covered this. So if you've not listened to that, please go to my previous episode and listen to why campus visits is essential in your college planning process. If that's not an option, virtual tours and information sessions are also available. So you really don't have an excuse. You have to find a way to engage with the school through campus visits, whether in person or virtually. Another way to demonstrate interest is interviews. Some schools offer alumni or admissions interviews, so take advantage of these opportunities to learn more about the school and make it a lasting impression. Another way is emails and social media. Do not hesitate to reach out to admissions officers with thoughtful questions or follow the school on social media to stay updated. Demonstrating interest shows schools that you are serious about attending, which can work in your favor when that decision time comes. Point 6, the importance of authenticity. Ultimately, the key to standing out in a competitive admissions process is authenticity. I cannot stress this enough. Admissions officers are experts at spotting students who are trying to fit into a mold. What they are really looking for is the real you, someone who is passionate, driven, and unique. So lean into your story. Focus on what truly makes you different. And don't be afraid to show your personality in your application. You don't have to be the president of every club or have a perfect SAT score. What matters most is that you've taken ownership of your journey, your story, and that is what your application reflects, your true self. To summarize, I'm not trying to keep you here for a whole hour. Standing out in the competitive admissions process requires more than just good grades and test scores. It's about creating a cohesive narrative, focusing on unique extracurriculars, securing strong recommendations, writing an authentic personal statement, and showing demonstrated interest in your target schools. If you are feeling overwhelmed by the process, don't worry. Our team at East Coast College Admissions is here to help you every step of the way. Whether it's fine-tuning your essay or preparing for interviews, we've got you covered. You can visit our website at www.eastcoastadmissions.com. Thanks for tuning in today. Do not forget to subscribe to this podcast and follow us on social media for more tips and strategies on how to get into your dream East Coast school. Until next time, keep working hard and stay true to yourself.